My co-founder, she sent some of these videos to her ex-colleague, and she was surprised with the quality because she didn't expect that AI can go that well with all video generation space. And she bought around 80 videos from us, and we were shocked, like, hey, why do you need AI generated videos? What is the reason? And she told me, we need that for ads, we need it for different hooks, for videos that our team is using, and they have a perfect fit.
Joining me today is Alex Varga, founder of varg.ai. Alex, welcome. Thank you for being here. Tell us about yourself, what varg.ai does, and then we'll jump straight into how you got your first paying client.
Hey, I'm Alex. I came from AI research, and almost over a decade, I'm building different AI things. So training my own models. And I'm quite early to all of these AI fields. I remember this moment when I was training generative media neural networks, when it was mostly called neural networks and deep learning, rather than transformers or VLMs or all other fancy words which we use today. And now I'm building varg.ai, which is, I would call it as a more like inference company. We help AI agents to use image and video models, and we provide different API for that. And we work mostly with high volume mobile apps right now. So that needs a lot of video creation.
How and where did you get your first paying client?
So yeah, I remember then we just came to San Francisco. So I worked for bulk image generation website. So we were building different images, and I was experimenting with different video models back in that days. And my co-founder, she sent some of these videos to her ex-colleague, and she was surprised with the quality because she didn't expect that AI can go that well with all video generation space. And she bought around 80 videos from us, and we were shocked, like, hey, why do you need AI generated videos? What is the reason? And she told me, we need that for ads, we need it for different hooks, for videos that our team is using, and they have a perfect fit. I said, wow, that's great. So let's go and ask more clients about the same thing. And this is how we started Varg.
Did you expect her response to be like that initially?
Well, I didn't expect that she would buy them immediately. I was more thinking, hey, I'm exploring this page. What do you think about it? But I didn't really expect that she wants to buy it.
What was going through your mind when she said yes and it was going towards success?
We were selling it for $8 or maybe $10 per video. And it was, wow, margins are great. And this is something special. I was thinking how we can scale that, because definitely if we see a demand in this direction, we should probably explore it a bit more.
What was going through your thoughts when you thought about scaling?
I think it's more a question, if she needs that, everybody else wants to buy that as well. And it was more like the moment where, okay, I had some doubts and concerns about, should we go into video space if we are fine with images? But after that, it clicked immediately that they need volumes, they need a lot of content, and this is what we can ship as one of the best provider.
Was it exciting to think about the scope of your initial services went from images to videos?
Yeah. So the idea was basically, okay, images are great, but what's the next dimension? Because images is rather simple object. It's a single two-dimensional thing, but video is a completely different challenge. And when we tested this prototype, it works great. Now we can repeat that and scale that.
What did you charge? How did you land on that number? And was it hard to ask for it?
Yeah, that was pretty easy because we were first-time clients we served. We did it fully as a service manually. We were asking them, hey, how much do you normally pay to real creators if you need such videos? And they normally say anywhere between $8 and maybe like $200, depends on how hard the video is. And so, okay, what if you pay us directly? We give you same amount of content, but also you can have more varieties of that. And also because it's AI, we can do some more editing on our end. So in the end, you not just get footages, but you get the entire end-to-end videos made fully with code. So there is no big difference for all of the first 10 clients, because they normally pay some money to freelancers or video teams, but they also need to stitch these things together, and it's a pain in the ass. So we just say, hey, let's just match the price.
How many no's did you get before that first yes, and how long did that take?
We had yes faster than no. I think out of first 15 or maybe 12 to 15 meetings, we had 10 yes. And then we started experimenting. What is the right ICP for that? The ideal customer that will likely to say yes. And what we need to tell them so they say yes.
Looking back, why do you think they chose Varg AI over anyone else?
In the beginning, when we were prototype, we mostly did everything from scratch. And because we were super early into the field, we know a lot of nuances. And because I came from AI research and I'm extremely detail oriented, I was able to deliver something what any other team cannot do that. And we were doing a lot of experiments. We tried every model. We tried every combination of three different models. Then we showed them intermediate process of creation that we were on Zoom calls almost every single day with our first customers. And because we were following the rule, like do things that don't scale, which is a very common phrase, like first to read an essay of Paul Graham, who was the very first founder of Y Combinator.
When you went on those Zoom calls with those first clients, was it a lot of Zoom calls? Was it to ensure that you were answering their questions, making sure that you were addressing every single need to make sure that it was a success for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I would even suggest if you run anything in a creative space, there is a hint. Sometimes people chase some perfection in media content. If you work in film industry, like you want to start a business in design, creative production, in any such field, most people I talk to, they want to have one or two iterations with you back and forth until they are happy, even if you deliver the best result on the market. I have even an anecdote that we were one of the customer. We had a call, we delivered them a pipeline after three iterations. They are super happy. They shipped that. And 2 weeks later, we signed them, we expand the contract. And when they came back to us, we delivered them a new pipeline, which is 10 times better than the previous one. But despite that, they start comparing this pipeline with some better quality. Hey, can you do even better, even better? And because there is the cognitive behavior, they really want to have some follow-up calls with you. And we were really actively chasing that every single time. On each Zoom call, my main idea was, hey, can we all agree so we don't have any misalignment on what is beautiful for you and what is beautiful for the client?
Essentially, you're saying make sure you're committed to them, make sure you're communicating with them, and make sure that you're clear about the expectations that's being delivered.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is the most important thing if you work in creative space.
Looking back with the first client, what do you think mattered far more than you thought it would? And what mattered far less?
We came to video space from images, and we didn't expect that they would spend much more time on audio. We expected visual content is the most important one. But it turns out when you see anything on the screen, it's always about visual and audio content. And everything like music, sound effects, everything, this matters much more than even visual appearance on the screen. And we didn't expect that.
After that first client, how did you get the next few?
We shipped the pipeline with them. We took some of videos. We made a small landing page and we launched it on X, pretending that we already have the product. Basically, we said, we claimed the idea. The problem, you can create images and videos with code. You can use any model you like. You can go to any websites that can do that service. But then the next problem, how to create thousands of videos. And I was at Founders Inc. In San Francisco. We took a podcast studio. I made a small launch video. What was really fun about this launch video, and I highly recommend that, we had a landing page. And I was showing this landing page as the product because we had some of the videos and use case right on the landing page. I say, hey, this is what you can do now with AI. And then I explain how we normally do that. And right after that video, it went viral and we got, I think, maybe 20 to maybe 50 more calls after that video.
After that experience, what do you think works consistently to get more clients and what does not work consistently to get more clients?
I think burning a mouth and delivering your work and also showing the work to your audience and also showing all your secrets is the key. I think that's pure value. If you share your secrets, people love that because it creates trust and it also creates your expertise. And also it works as a lead magnet to all of your prospects. And that works the best way for me. So I can share some content and get some more customers. Another thing, what I want to add here also, because I see it's also very valuable, is sometimes you should probably think, do you really want to scale immediately right now or not? Because the one day I faced that issue that we started being more a service company and we started doing a lot of service revenue from many different clients. And on some level, I said, stop. We need to think about the product and we need to show them product first and they need to use the product. And right now, for example, we don't want to add a lot of new customers. So I'm focused on the platform and we have one of the greatest client we have and we test this platform together with them as a design partner. And I think that is also an important lesson what I got. Starting aggressively grinding, when I just arrived to San Francisco, this is the very first thing you want to do. You compete with a lot of people here and you say, hey, let's grind, let's do more revenue, let's do more customers and so on. But sometimes it can be not a high leverage for you. You can lose a lot of time serving clients. You can learn a lot, but on some point you need to have a product and deliver them the product. That's a very important lesson I know.
When you spoke about sharing your secrets, how do you balance sharing your secrets and not giving away everything for free to a point where at some point you do need to charge for whatever it is you're selling? How do you find that balance?
What I figured out, if you want to do something in-house, you need to convince people still to follow you because these are builders. They will build on their hands. Like they are not your clients. They are not your clients because they are builders. They want to build. And that is why that was my idea to be more open source first. So if we are open source, steal it, just use it, do that, please. We would be happy because that's also feedback for us. For example, one company came to us, made a huge pull request and added an entire provider to the system without any help. We got that out of the open source community. And that was a magical thing. We were not selling secrets, but other people started helping us as well. This is a very good sign. But another group of people who are corporates, who are lazy enough, they don't really have much time to understand all of details. They need your help to succeed. And this is why a lot of B2B enterprise software exists. They want to help other companies to use that. Even it all sounds easy, even if everything what you make, if you show all of your secrets, you still want to help them to be master in that.
Going back to the beginning to understand the full journey, what were you doing before this and what made you walk away to build it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was always experimenting with different LLMs and computer vision models. I got my major in machine learning. In 2025, I moved to San Francisco and I was exploring image generation space. We had one of the very first AI agent that was able to create different images using any model you want. We made that in a very similar timeline as DALL-E models from ChatGPT. But my idea was, hey, why I can use only these early versions of DALL-E when I can also connect this model and also type in the chat what I want to get rather than prompt all of these models. I was so bored prompting these models, so I made an AI agent. I called it bulkimagegeneration.com. We bootstrapped that. We followed Peter Level's piece of advice that you need to just be an indie hacker. And we came to the moment where it started paying the rent. We were super happy about that. But in the same time, I was thinking that bootstrapping a company is very nice, but what can we do more as a venture scale? And as a venture scale, we were thinking we now know a lot about infrastructure, how to build such image generation pipelines. Let's do the same thing for videos. Let's do the infrastructure for that. And this is how we came to the idea. If we know about infrastructure, let's do the inference. Let's help other people to set up such pipelines and we will help them to succeed. So this is how Varg was created.
When you started, did you have any marketing plans in place?
Twitter, like shipped on X.
Have you expanded from Twitter or is that your main source of marketing?
Yeah, sometimes LinkedIn works as well. I think if you're in the SF, like X is one of the best places where you can start.
At what point did you think that this was becoming a real business to go all in?
I don't know. It's a hard question for me to answer. I just build, I continue building. I can't stop building. And when you build, that's an infinite process.
Beyond Varg AI, which AI tools do you like to use day to day to help run the business?
I use Cloud Code a lot and GPT and different other LLM providers. My favorite tool for some deployments are Modal. It's a AI infrastructure company with serverless GPUs, which is amazing in my opinion. I try to keep my AI stack minimal, but these days I experiment with different terminals with AI native features like ZAD and other tools like CMAX, for example. More like developer tools, I would say.
If you had to start over from zero today, what would you do in the first 7 days, knowing what you know now?
It's a very hard question because if you say start now, but the momentum is still going, right? The market is quickly changing. So what was up to date a year ago was the best decisions I made already. And now the market is completely different. And I know a lot about what's going on right now with the given status of my company. But imagine I don't have a company now and the market is up to date. It's still an unfair thing. Just despite I know a lot of things, the strategy might be completely different, even if I have a lot of knowledge.
What's the single biggest piece of advice you would give to someone still trying to land their first client?
There is a nice book called The Right It. I highly recommend to read it because they explain the concept of prototype and explain how to test your idea and find first customers by mocking the whole business idea you have using the fastest methods possible. And you read this book and you understand what's your next step.
Where can people find Varga?
We have a website called varg.ai and we are also active on X.
Links to Varga AI are in the description below. Alex, had a great time speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time.